ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुक्तापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु वैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So welcome everyone. This is our 2024's first session. We are on the 7th chapter. We completed 9th verse, so we'll start with the 10th verse. But just few things I want to say before we move to the 10th. So in this chapter, Krishna says he starts speaking about himself. So in the previous chapter, he said that become a yogi, Arjuna. Better than philosopher, better than karmakandi, better than empiricist. You become a yogi where you practice the yoga process, and that yoga process where one meditates on Krishna is the highest. Now one may have a natural question, why Krishna, and why Krishna is saying that you should meditate on me, right? So suppose someone has written a book or he's giving some lecture or some what to say, speech, and in the speech he says you should all pay me, or you should respect me, you should honor me. And it sounds very odd, right? If we listen to such people, who openly say you should do that for me, not for anyone else, just for me, then we understand that there is some selfishness over there, right? So not people will like it, but Bhagavad Gita, why such a thing is accepted? Can you tell me? In Bhagavad Gita, if Krishna is saying you should meditate on me, why why we say that
Prabhuji,
Krishna?
Prabhuji is the supreme personality of Godhead
Yeah. So in Bhagavad Gita, it's never Sri Krishna Vacha.
because
It
he's the
is Sri,
supreme Lord we have.
yeah, it is Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Bhagavan Vacha.
Yeah. So if the prime minister or the president says you have to respect me, then we will accept it, right? Or if the teacher says you have to respect me, you have to listen to me, we understand. Okay, yeah, makes sense. If the parent says to the child, you have to listen to me, no one on the road is going to tell, oh, you're telling wrong. No, a child should always listen to the parent, right? So Krishna's relationship with us is that he is the supreme Lord. From everything, from him everything has come. Even we have come from him. So therefore, he's building up this case that when he says, "Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatendra atmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam," with faith they will worship me. I mean, they will do devotion to me, mam. This is highest. Same yukta tamamata. So he is saying this because he is the source of everyone. So, like a parent, he's saying this. And like a teacher, he's saying to Arjuna, you have to listen to me. A teacher, if he says not this to a student, you have to listen to me. Listen, keep silence. Now listen to me. It makes sense, right? So we can only understand this statement where Krishna says you should worship me, pay obeisances to me, remember me, all that, when we understand this particular word, Sri Bhagavan Vach, Bhagavan. This word is very important. Bhagavan, it says that all the six opulences are there in Krishna, in the highest form, in the unlimited form. That is Bhagavan. So Krishna, because he is Supreme Lord, he can say such things. Nobody else can say this. Except for parents and teachers, they can say to certain extent. Policemen can say, authority, person of authority. So the ultimate authority is Krishna. Therefore, he can say, you should bhajate yo mam. You should do devotion to me. A person walking on the road, if he says bhajate yo mam, you worship me, pay obeisances to me, namaskaram, are we going to do? No. He said, who are you? What is your qualification? Why I should do bhajate yo mam? Or let me put the other way around. Suppose some employee is walking in the company complex, and there comes a person, and the employee doesn't show any respect to that person. He's just walking by, and that person stops and say, hey, where are you going? Stand here. What the other person will say? Who are you? Who are you to tell me this? Right? It's a very natural question, right? You understand this point? Do you understand this point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
But not many understand this point. Okay. Many get upset with this statement. Why Krishna? So to answer them, this particular chapter is said. Okay. This particular chapter, Krishna tells why he should be worshipped. And he says, I will tell you this knowledge. Now, this is very interesting. I will tell you this knowledge because you are my friend. Um, okay, he says that in ninth chapter. Okay, but here he says a little more information. Okay, and what was the information? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego are my separated material energies. If full fire, whatever fire is there in the world, everything belongs to Krishna. Whatever earth is there, water is there, air is there, all the minds are there, all the intelligence, all the egos are there. Ether means space. Everything is Krishna's energy. So we can just imagine, what kind of energy, power Krishna has, control over that, right? Besides this, there is another superior energy, the living entities, meaning we are also coming from him. I am both the origin and the dissolution. Aham Krishnasya Jagatah. I, Prabhava Pralayastha. I am the source of annihilation and manifestation. All birth and death is there. Na? Everything comes from me. Getting? And then what more he says? He says, okay. He says, if he is the supreme, why don't we see him? Why don't we see him? See, there's a big company like Tata. Do you always see the CEO of the company? No, right? He'll be in the
No,
in
no,
the
Prabhuji.
headquarters, and he'll be somewhere else, and we are in Bangalore or Pune or Mumbai, and his headquarters is suppose Delhi. He's sitting in Delhi. We may not see him every time, but he's spread everywhere, and his word is taken everywhere, right? Same way, Krishna is located in his loka, but he's spread everywhere and he's controlling. And he says the way I am doing it is just like there are pearl necklaces there, na? Hopefully, only one necklace. See, these pearl necklaces are there, right? Do you see the thread of the necklace? No, right? But we know.
No, no.
Yeah, but we know that there is a thread. Similarly, Krishna says, I may not be visible, but I am like that thread upon which everything rests upon me. Okay. Okay. So, like this information he's giving and he's telling us how he is the supreme. So he says, I'm taste of water. Can you describe the taste of water? You just cannot describe. But without that taste, we never feel quenched. We'll still feel thirsty, right? Unless somebody gives us water. Even if they give us juice, apple juice, mango juice, or anything, sugarcane juice, or alcohol or something, it won't quench our taste of water, right? Soda and all that, nothing. The moment we taste water, even little bit, we'll feel happy. See, that is the taste. It's a very subtle substance, very much basic substance which satisfies us. So Krishna says, I am that taste. The light of the sun. Have you seen a sun without light? No, right? Have you seen a moon without that light? No. They are known for that light. When it becomes cloudy, it becomes cold, right? Now there is winter going on. And if sun doesn't come out, how cold it becomes the whole day. Similarly, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. All the Vedic mantras have this starting Om Keshvaya Nama, Om Narayana Nama, Om Madhavaya Namaha. Even demigods have that. Om Gan Ganpate Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya. So everywhere the Om is there, and Krishna says that Om I am. I am the sound in the ether. In the space, whatever sound is there, na, he is. I am the ability in the man and the woman. See, we all have some ability to do something, right? That ability, Krishna says, I am. So this ability, do we have it when we were baby? We cannot use that ability when we were
No.
baby. When we are old, do
No.
we can we use that ability? No, because when we are old, our old bones will be breaking. So only for some time this ability is given to us and then taken back. Agreed? So that giving and taking, na, Krishna is doing. Then I'm the original fragrance of earth. When it rains, right? First time it rains, na, the smell of the earth comes. And that smell is just unique. I'm the heat in the fire. The fire is there, it is recognized by heat. I'm the life of all lives, and I'm the penances of all ascetics. Okay. Hmm. So now we'll move to 7.10. Any question? Bijam mam sarvam bhutanam viddhi parthe sanatanam buddhir buddhimattam asmi tejas vinam aham. O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existence and the intelligence of all intelligence and the prowess of all powerful men. I am the original seed of all existence. Everything has come from me. All the animals, aquatics, trees, everything. And the intelligence of the intelligent. So many intelligent people are there. Now all their intelligence comes from Krishna only. And when they become old, now that particular intelligence is not there in them. Have you heard about certain scientists when they become old? They are not as sharp as they were when they were young. Have you heard about stories of like that? Hmm? That when these scientists who are discovering this equation, that equation, and when they become old, they
Yes,
they are not that intelligent. Huh?
yes,
They are
Prabhuji.
somewhere in the hospital and all that on the wheelchair and all. So all that intelligence Krishna gives, and prowess. Powerful men are very powerful. Like they can do something. They are very resourceful. Like Hitler, such a powerful man. But at the end of the war, how he was? His prowess was not there only. He had to kill himself, suicide. So Krishna gives and he takes away. Bijam means seed. Krishna is the seed of everything. There are various living entities, movable and inert. Bird, beast, men, and many other living creatures are moving living entities. Trees and plants, however, are inert. They cannot move but only stand. Every entity is contained within the scope of 8.4 million species of life. Some of them are moving and some of them are inert. In all cases, however, the seed of their life is Krishna. As stated in Vedic literature, Brahman or Supreme Absolute Truth is that from which everything is emanating. Krishna is the Para Brahman. The supreme spirit, the Brahman is impersonal, Parabrahman is personal. Impersonal Brahman is situated in the personal aspect. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. So all these details are there, okay? Therefore, originally Krishna is the source of everything. He is the root. Do we see the root of the tree? We don't see the root of the tree, but we know that the tree is growing because the root is going deep and it is taking all the nutrients from the and water from the earth, and it is maintaining it. It is holding it in the ground. So Krishna is like that root. We cannot see it, but he is providing everybody. As the root of the tree maintains the whole tree, Krishna, being the original root of the all beings, maintains everything in this world. This is confirmed in Vedic literature. So in other literature also is said, Nityo Nityanam Chaitanya Chetanam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidhati Kama. He is the prime eternal among all eternals. He is the supreme living entity of all living entity. And he alone is the maintaining of all life. One cannot do anything without intelligence. And Krishna also says that he is the root of all intelligence. Unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the supreme person of Godhead, Shri Krishna. I went a little far because it's same thing. Balam balavattam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatrishabha. It's a very interesting verse. I am the strength of the strong. We discussed this. Devoid of passion and desire. So the strong, right? They are strong and they should use that strength not for their passion or for their selfish desire. Okay. So there are strong people, right? There are gundas. They also use their strength. But Krishna said that strength is not me. Why? Because they are doing it for their selfish reasons and passionate reasons. That is not me. What I am the strength of the strong who use it for the right purpose, for protecting the weak. Okay? That strength is me. Meaning, dharmic strength is Krishna. Okay? Now, next statement. Very interesting. I am sex life which is not contrary to the religious principles. Now, sex life is the basic material thing in this world. Whether you take animals, aquatics, human beings, everyone, even demigods. Why is sex life there? Propagation of children. How will the population increase? It increases because of this only, sex life. Now, Krishna says, not all sex life I am. What is it? What is it? Which is not contrary to the religious principles. Meaning, there is sex life which is done for religious principle. That only is Krishna. Now tell me, for what reason one should have sex life according to religious principle? To have good children. How does that happen in sex life? Can anyone tell me? Hmm?
Prabhuji, those children will again propagate Krishna consciousness.
Okay, good. But okay, real sex life. It has many parts to it. One is called Garbhadan Sanskar. And Garbhadan Sanskar has below parts to it. What is first life is before sex, while, and then after. So Garbhadan Sanskar says 1 year before that, the husband and wife should do tapasya and should meditate on what kind of child they want. And then they should prepare. Prabhupada says, um, before having sexual intercourse, one should chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then, after sex, remember Krishna. Okay. So Garbhadan has these details of before, while, and after. Okay. So there's a big science behind this. What does this do? This attracts a soul which is having similar temperament like the father and the mother. So if the father and the mother are devotional, they will attract a devotional child. So the Garbhadan Sanskar guarantees that. In today's life, nobody is doing this, so therefore they are having children who are terrible. Okay. So next is raising child dharmically. This is also part of it. Dharmically means both physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. Everything is included in this raising child. All these activities, when done, then our sex life output, which is child, we are doing it religiously. We are making sure that the child is taken care materially and spiritually. That is what is dharma of taking care. Okay, we are giving samskara to the child. Anna sanskar, right? We give anna sanskar, right? Nama sanskar, anna sanskar, upanayama, then marriage, vivaha samskar, and so many other things. And then at the end, death. There is
Antyeshti.
antyeshti. All that sanskaras, when we give, all that, all that comes under the religious dharmic reviews. So it's a big portion of the thing. When we do all these things, then that is Krishna. But today I know nothing of these things as well. A strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. Similarly, sex life, according to religious principles, should be for the propagation of children who are spiritual in nature, not otherwise. The responsibility of the parents is to make their offerings Krishna conscious. This both the things should be involved. Okay. ये चैव सात्विक भाव राजस्तमश्च ये मत्त एवैति तान् विद्धि न त्व अहम तेषु ते मयि. Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by managing. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under these three modes, for they, on the contrary, are within me. So there are these three modes: Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun. They are coming from Krishna, but they don't affect Krishna. Krishna controls these three modes, and these three modes are controlling us. So, in the West, right, there was one philosopher, and he was a devotee. He was very religious, but once what happened is his his son died, so he became very depressed. He said, I am so religious, I go to church, but still my child died. How can God be so bad? So then he thought, and he concluded, maybe God is dead now. He's no more. He's dead. So one comes to this kind of wrong conclusions. Why? Because these three modes now they affect us. They make us sad, they make us happy, they make us depressed. And then we think God is also depressed. We make him equal. We also die, he also dead. So there is a, in the atheistic philosophy, they say God is dead. Because they cannot understand how can there be evil in this world. Or there can be setback in this world. They cannot understand this whole thing. Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, we come to know because the three modes are there. That's why there is ups and downs and happiness and distress. But Krishna is not affected by them. He separates himself from them. Therefore, we cannot equal it. Okay. All material activities in the world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanating from the Supreme Lord Krishna, he is not subject to them. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king or the lawmaker is not subjected to that law. See, sometimes the king is not subjected to certain laws. Like I always give this example of traffic police. We all have to follow the red and green and orange traffic signals, right? But let's say the prime minister comes or the chief minister comes. Does he has to follow? No, right? His caravan
Okay.
will go, whether it is red or green, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So that's where. So certain rules don't apply to that. Similarly, the other way that the signals on the road don't apply to the aeroplanes. If the signal is red here, the aeroplane doesn't stop. They have to follow different rules and regulations. So the demigods also like that. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, ignorance, are emanating from the Supreme Lord, Krishna. But Krishna is not subjected to this material nature. Okay, Krishna is not subjected to it. Therefore, he is called Nirguna. Nirguna means without these gunas, without the three gunas. Which means that these gunas or modes, although issuing from him, do not affect him. This is one of the special characteristics of Bhagwan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. त्रिभिर गुणमयिर भावेर इभै सर्वम इदम जगत मोहितम नाभिजानाति मां एभ्य परम अव्ययम. Deluded by the three modes. See, I was talking about three modes. The whole world does not know me. Or they come to wrong conclusions that I am dead, or I ran away, or I'm not taking care, or I'm just not interested. If you see the West philosophy, some of these things are there. Who am out above the modes and inexhaustive. The whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Every living entity is under the influence of the material nature, has a particular type of body, particular type of psychological and biological activity accordingly. There are four classes of men functioning in the three material modes. Those who are in pure goodness are called Kshatriyas. In mode of passion are called in mode of goodness are called Brahmanas. Mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. Mode of passion and ignorance is called Vaishyas, and in ignorance are called Shudras. And those who are less than animals are called animal life. However, these designations are not permanent. I may be either a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. In any case, this life is temporary. So this is not a permanent situation. Okay. Next life we may be something else. But all the life is temporary. We do not know what we are going to be in the next life. By the spell of the illusion energy, we consider ourselves in the term of the bodily conception of life, and we must think that we are American, Indian, Russian, Brahmana, Hindu, Muslim, etc. And if we become entangled in the modes of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Person Godhead who is behind all these modes. So these modes are very, very bewildering. And they make us forget where is God, who is God. That is our state. So Krishna says the living entity deluded by the three modes do not understand that behind the material nature is the Supreme Personality of God. Have you seen Puppet Show?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What is seen in the puppet that we don't see?
Those threads that control the puppet, we cannot see
Yeah.
them.
So these threads are like those, these threads are like those three modes. They control us. They were very, very bewildered. The puppet thinks that he is that person, or we as an audience think that they are talking and they are walking and all that. But no, the, the thread is moving then up and down. There are many different kinds of living entities: human beings, demigods, animals, and each and every one of them is under the influence of the material nature, and all of them have forgotten the transcendent personality of Godhead. Those who are in the mode of passion, ignorance, and even those who are in mode of goodness cannot go beyond the impersonal Brahman conception of absolute truth. They are bewildered before the Supreme Lord in his personal feature, which possess all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. And even those who are in goodness cannot understand. So it is very difficult to understand Krishna. Krishna consciousness transcended to all the three modes, and those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. So one is in these three modes cannot understand Krishna. So what is the solution? How to understand Krishna? Within the three modes, it's very difficult for us. So how to understand
We have,
Krishna?
we have to transcend the modes, Prabhuji, by devotional service. If we do devotional service, then we
So that
transcend the
means,
modes slowly.
yeah, fine. But does everyone know about devotion service? From where they can know about devotion service? From where did you come to know that we have to do devotion service?
Through our gurus and
Yeah. So that's why in the previous chapter, fourth chapter, Krishna says, if you want to learn the truth, you should approach the guru. Tatvidhi prani pratena pariprashnena seva upadeshayanti te jnanam jnanena sattvadarshana. And they will teach you how to go beyond the three modes using the devotional service. Okay. दैवी हेषि हि गुणमाया मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव प्रपद्यन्ते मयम इदं तरन्ति ते दैवी this Maya energy, it's very difficult to overcome, very difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered onto me can easily cross. Now this surrender, there is meaning to this surrender. When we surrender to the representative of Krishna, it is same. So when we surrender to the Guru and listen to the Guru, we can then easily cross the three modes. Otherwise, it's very difficult to overcome. By our own energy, we cannot. Okay. The personal and supreme cosmic Godhead has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Although the living entities are part of his energies and they are therefore divine, due to contact with material energy, their original superior power is covered. See, we are covered by the three modes, so we are not able to, do anything. Like, let me show you. In which suit can we walk properly, run properly, swim properly? Which suit it is? Left, middle, or right one?
The left one, Prabhuji. At least
Yeah.
it looks little comfortable.
The middle one, the right one, we just cannot do a lot of things. So
They are
it's like this,
metallic ones,
Yeah. So the
so
left one is mode of goodness, middle one is mode of passion, right one is mode of ignorance. So we are covered by that. So therefore, it is very difficult for us to do anything. As previously stated, both material and spiritual energies, being emanations from the Supreme Personal Godhead, are eternal. The living entity belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord, but due to contamination by the inferior nature, matter, the illusion is also eternal. So they think I am this costume. She thinks I am hippopotamus, right? We go to some fancy dress competition and we say, "Oh, what dress is this? Oh, I am hippopotamus. I am bear or I am horse," right? They think that they are that. Yes or no? One wearing this suit will say, "I am like Iron Man." Agreed?
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So that's why we are Nitya Baddha. Nitya Baddha means we are conditioned. We think I am this body and all that. No one can trace out the history of his becoming conditioned at a certain date of in material history. Consequently, his release from the clutches of material nature is very difficult. And even though the material nature is an inferior one, because material nature is ultimately conducted by the supreme will, which the living entity cannot overcome, inferior material nature is defined herein as divine nature due to its divine connection and movement by its divine will. So these three modes, right? They are under the control of the supreme lord. So therefore, these three modes are also called divine here because of that connection. Being conducted by divine will, the material energy, although inferior, acts so wonderfully in the construction and destruction of the cosmic manifestation. I'll just go a little faster here. These are all very technical things. The Vedas confirm this as follows. Although Maya is false temporary background, the background of Maya is supreme magician, the personality of God, who is Maheshwara, the supreme control. Another meaning of guna is rope. So we talked about puppets, right? So it's like a rope, it controls us. Hmm? Its soul is tightly tied to the rope of illusion. The man bound by hand and feet cannot free himself. He must be held by a person who is unbound. So, who is that person who is unbound? Krishna
Guru
and
Prabhuji.
his bona fide husband. So that's where Prabhupada is coming. Because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. Therefore, only Krishna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, Guru, can release the conditioned soul. So when we say surrender, right, it means both surrendering to Krishna through the medium of Guru. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. Devotional service of Krishna consciousness can help one gain such release. Krishna, being the Lord of illusory energy, can order this insurmountable energy to release the conditioned soul. So, let's say if you go to some friend's house and he has a dog, and that dog comes running towards you and barking at you, what will you do?
We will ask our friend to tie the dog up.
We will call our friend,
Yes,
whatever his
Prabhuji.
name is, right? And the friend, what he will do? Will he run
He
towards
will
us?
come and tie the dog.
No. He will just look out and say whatever the dog's name is.
Yes,
Rocky.
yes.
Stop. Stop, Rocky. Come here. That much is enough to control the dog, right?
Yes, yes.
He doesn't even have to come near to the dog. So if Krishna orders the material nature to free the soul, the material nature will simply listen. Therefore, surrendering to Krishna by chanting his holy name is the sure shot method to get free from the clutches of the stringent material nature. Simple, right? Just like if you want the dog to stop attacking us, we just chant the name of our friend. That much is enough. The friend will just indicate. In some cases, he may just show his hand also up in the air, and the dog will simply understand. Right? Similarly, this material nature is controlled by Krishna. Just by indication, the material nature will stop. Okay. The words Mam Eva is also significant. Mam means Krishna, Vishnu, not Brahma or Shiva. See, even demigods are not are free. They also under the control of the three modes. Okay, like Brahma and Shiva, they are conditioned. They have effect of tamogun and rajogun on them. It is not possible for such incarnation of rajogun and tamogun to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. So they cannot free us. Okay, they cannot give us mukti. Brahma and Shiva, they cannot give us mukti. Only Krishna can give us mukti, or Vishnu can give us mukti. Brahma and Shiva can direct us on the process of mukti, but not give us mukti. Okay, like Shiva, by his meditation process, he can instruct. You can meditate on Vishnu, and this is how you can do. Brahma also meditates on Vishnu, and he can say, okay, this is how I meditate, you can meditate. And then you can become free. But can they give the freedom? No. Okay, understand? In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are also under the influence of Maya. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya. Therefore, he alone can give release to conditioned soul. The Vedas, Shvetashara Upanishad confirms this phrase, Tameva Vidita. Freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Lord Shiva says, Mukti Pradata Sarvesham Vishnu Eva Na Samshaya. There is no doubt, Samshaya, there is no doubt. Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation from for everyone. Okay. Any question or comment?
Ha, Prabhuji, I had a doubt here. Here in this, in the previous paragraph, it was written that about Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, that they are also above, not above.
The three
I mean,
modes.
like they are also under the influence of the modes.
Mm.
But Prabhuji, demigods are positions held by devotees who are very exalted, and they are liberated, and they have risen to that exalted position. That's why they have been given the posts of demigods. No, Prabhuji?
See, if they're liberated, na, then they are told to
Huh.
go to Vaikunta.
Okay, okay.
Mm. So,
So then when they have surpassed those modes, they have attained the position of
yeah, at the
demigods.
age of
Then
100, Brahma,
why? Acha, acha.
at the age of 100, Brahma is going to go back to God. Today he is 51 years old.
Ah,
Okay.
okay. But then why they are again under the influence of modes,
They are
Prabhuji? They have
slightly
surpassed
under the
them. That's why they
influence.
have attained the position of,
Yeah, yeah, but they are slightly under the influence. It is not like they are under the influence like the way we are.
matlab borderline,
Yes, it's very much borderline for them. They rarely,
borderline.
they rarely fall down, but sometimes they do. Like Shiva, he got attracted to Mohini Murti, or
Okay, okay.
yeah, some tamas thing, and Brahma, who's who's designing, is the original engineer. No? So passion affects him.
Okay. It is like we are on the very low level, like 2%, 3%.
Right.
They are almost on the
Let
99,
me tell you. Let me give you
99.9,
example. Let me give you example.
99.6 or
See,
7.
the policemen are there, the judge is there, the advocates are there. They know the law in and out, right?
Hmm.
And they follow it also, right?
Yes, look.
But sometimes they do mistakes, right?
Correct.
So like that. So even they
Okay,
may be
okay,
having
Prabhuji.
some higher position, but still they are affected little bit. Okay.
Yeah. Not to that extent that we are affected.
Yeah.
They are
Our
less
is like
affected.
every second, fraction of a second we are affected.
Yes, Prabhuji. We are all. Yeah, 1 or 2 percentage.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji.
Any
Understood.
other question?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. So we will stop here today. Hmm?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. Okay, let's meet next week and continue from 7.50. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Sure.